Good day, legends. Welcome back to Unpopular Aussie Opinions, the only place on YouTube where we drag the skeletons out of the closet and make them dance in broad daylight. If you are new here, buckle up, because today we are ripping the lid off the one story the NRL, the Melbourne Storm, and every footy journalist in the country has spent 4 years desperately trying to bury. Cameron Munster and the infamous white powder video that almost ended his career, his marriage, and his reputation forever. Smash the like button if you remember exactly where you were when this dropped, and let us dive straight into the mess. September 2021. The Storm have just been knocked out of the finals, the boys are in Queensland for Mad Monday celebrations, and someone decides to film what was supposed to be a private hotel room session. Next thing you know, grainy footage hit social media. Cameron Munster, Brandon Smith, Chris Lewis, a table, and right in the middle of it a long, perfect line of what every single person with eyes immediately recognized as white powder. Munster is standing on the table, shirt half off, dancing like a man who thinks tomorrow will never come. Within hours the clip is everywhere. Twitter explodes, Facebook explodes. My mum who hates footy even sends me the video asking, is this the Queensland bloke? The NRL and the Storm go into full damage control faster than Usain Bolt out of the blocks. Statements are released, press conferences are called, and suddenly we are told it is all just a big misunderstanding. No positive drug test, no admission of drug use, nothing to see here, move along. Munster fronts the cameras looking like absolute death warmed up, apologising for letting people down and making poor choices, but never once does he say what the white substance actually was. The official line becomes alcohol and behaviour issues only. Yeah, right. Fast forward a couple of weeks and Munster checks himself into a fancy rehab joint on the Sunshine Coast for 4 weeks. Not for drugs, mind you, just for alcohol and gambling. Funny that, because in his own words on the back of the Nest podcast last year, he admitted he once lost close to $500,000 in one night on the pokies. $500,000. Most of us will never see that sort of money in a lifetime, and this bloke is snorting it up the nose of a poker machine while there is literally white powder on the table in front of him. Yet somehow the story stays, poor Cam has a drinking problem, give him a hug. Let us be crystal clear here. If you or I got filmed with a mountain of coke in a hotel room, we would be in handcuffs before breakfast. Police would be involved, charges would be laid, careers would be over. But because it is Cameron Munster, Queensland's golden boy, the NRL bends over backwards to make sure no actual drug test ever happens. They hide behind the fact that it was the off-season and the integrity unit supposedly cannot force a test. Convenient, is it not? And the media played along like good little lapdogs. Headlines went from Munster caught with cocaine to Munster enters rehab for alcohol struggle in the space of 48 hours. The white powder magically disappeared from every conversation. Even the journalists who broke the story started backpedaling the moment the Storm threatened legal action. 4 years later, and you will struggle to find a single mainstream article that even mentions the powder anymore. That, my friends, is the definition of a cover-up. Now I am not sitting here saying Munster is still on the gear today. Fair play to the bloke, he has stayed out of trouble since, he has 3 kids, he captained Queensland to a series win, and he looks happier than ever. But pretending that video never showed what it clearly showed is the biggest whitewash of the decade. The NRL protected one of their biggest stars because losing Munster would have cost them millions in Origin ratings and Storm memberships. Simple as that. So here is the unpopular Aussie opinion you will not hear on Fox or 9. Cameron Munster got caught red-handed with cocaine. The league buried the evidence, rewrote the narrative, and handed him a slap on the wrist because he is too valuable to lose. The white powder video was not a misunderstanding. It was the moment the entire game showed its true colours. Drop your thoughts below. Did the NRL sell its soul to save Munster, or am I out of line? Like the video if you want more of these buried stories dragged into the light. Subscribe with notifications on because next week we are going after another sacred cow, and I will catch you legends in the next one. Cheers.